Hello, everybody. I'm Veronica from Human Design Journey, and I'm here with another yet interesting interview with a person I just met on the Human Design Ray Festival. Hi, Michal. So nice to have you as my guest today.
Hi, it's so nice to be here. I'm really excited actually.
Yeah. So, guys, we didn't record half of the interview because we met with Michal and we were like to open throats. And yeah, we didn't hit the record button. We had some things, but let's hope now we're gonna bring you more interesting um, insights from our conversations as 251s. So I'm very happy to present to you a mother of three and very inspired enthusiast in the human design system. Um, yeah, so would you mind to share with us how it all began for you? How did you meet human design and how it all started to unfold for you?
Oh wow, of course. Um, so actually I've been in my own personal development journey for the past 7 years, almost 8. And I've done all kinds of um, workshops and courses, and I've studied and really worked on myself, and really needed to investigate myself and to understand. And I got rid of a lot of limited beliefs in my way, and started to understand that I have the power to understand and to change how I see the world. So that was prior to human design. And the year I've met human design, it was two years ago. Actually, it was exactly 2 years ago, to May or April 2022. And it was like a Zoom webinar of someone here in that she talked about the types, and it was really superficial. It didn't go very deep, but it was, I watched it and I was like, okay, wow. And I'm a sacral generator, and I'm a 5/1, and I have an open head, and I just dove in, like I jumped head first to the pool, and started just investigating the hell out of it. I stayed up at sometimes until 2 and 3 a.m. watching all of whatever I could see on YouTube. I started like opening all of my family's charts, and starting to, what's this and what's this and what's that, and why is this with the color, and what does it mean? And I dove really fast. And it was a few weeks, I think maybe a month, that that's all I saw, that's all I read, that's everything. Was every time I had some time, I just scrolled and read more and more and more. And actually, I had like an anxiety attack a few weeks into this investigation. um and I really felt an anxiety attack. It attacked me. And the the funny thing is that the exact same thing that made me go to the anxiety attack is the same thing that got me out of it. Because I was I understood that it was my open head, and I'm actually on a mind attack. And then I stepped out for a few weeks. I took a break, and I took a break and I left everything. I stopped reading, I stopped watching, I stopped everything. And I was at that point, I was already in some kind of a Facebook group, and I saw the posts, so it stayed, but I didn't read just as much. And then I decided just to, okay, I need to step in, like, more. I need to deal with myself first, because of my family, because my son's charts are really, you can say, unique, because they are completely defined. My two of my boys are completely defined with all 9 centers, and I wanted to understand it. And so when I stepped back and stepped in again, I was like, okay, just figure out yourself first, understand yourself first. And I studied alone for over a year before I had my first map reading, my first official map reading. And I did the LYD course like 3 times in with 3 different teachers. um, and then I had my first reading, and then I started a year of studying. I did the ABC, and I did the cartography, and I did the LYD guide, all in the same year. Um, I think that's how I started.
Yeah, so you started radically. Uh,
Yeah.
it's funny because it reminds me so much of my own story of I had a baby just, and I was non every time the moment I put the baby to sleep and I'm in front of my computer listening to podcasts and whatever with human design, everything I could get my hands on. And at that moment, at that time, it was 2010, there was not so much information out there. So I can tell you, I dug
Hmm.
everything on human design. I really read everything that was there on the internet, every like secret groups. You know, it's so funny. It's so funny. But I really can see, because with us, it's we have to investigate it. It's our nature. Um, but with me, the first question was like, this is so perfect that this is either coming from God or from the devil. That was my,
Ah.
I had to, and I was like, this cannot be so perfect. There must be some catch, or there must be some flaw, and I will find it. And I'm still searching for that. Of course, you find some discrepancies here and there, but that's the whole thing, that after Ra, Uruhu laid out the whole knowledge, and he had the first wave of his students and actually developing it and putting it together, because sometimes he would give contradictory information, but when it's dealt with in deeper layers, it all comes back together, and
Mhm.
you can really see where on the surface things might look like they contradict each other, but then when you go deeper, they don't. So actually, that's very important maybe for people also to know, when they study human design, it's not enough to study from books or even from Ra's
Yeah.
letters only.
Yeah.
It's really when you take the course, because it's a whole academic faculty behind that they sat together with Ra and they worked on all the details to it's a science. Um,
Yeah.
so it's really something that you need to look at the synthesis, and at the same time being able to look at the detail. Also, the same way is when you look at a body graph, you
Hmm.
cannot generalize because it's so
Hmm.
specific with each body graph, and we constantly go to the bigger picture and then to the detail, to the bigger picture, then to the detail, to get to that synergy thing, because the synergy effect is the the new thing is bigger than the sum of its parts.
Yeah.
And it becomes something completely new. And that's human design by itself as a science is like that. It rests on certain esoteric and scientific subjects, but it stands on its own feet.
Yeah.
Kind of, it was given with things that our mind would perceive, with what we already had on Earth as science research and and esoterics, that the voice, the so-called voice from Alan Krakower, the later known as Rauruhu, which helped him lay out the knowledge with those different tools, but at the end, the synergy is a completely new thing. So thank you for like kind of bringing this out of me, because it's important for
Yeah. And I can because of my first experience, because I went in very mindy, very going into the details and starting to learn everything apart. That's the first advice I give to people now, that it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter. All you need to understand deeply in your body, all you need to experience, because the experience is what matters here. And all you need to experience is how your mechanic works, how your authority works, how your strategy works. And that's the only thing that matters. All of the other thing is, it's of course, it lets you understand a deeper it gives you a deeper understanding of who you are. But being who you are is strategy and authority, and living it, and actually trying or going with your strategy and your authority, and understanding how it feels in your body. And that's when things starts to change. And this is why actually I have my own podcast, which I interviewed you and Julia. And this is what we talk about. This is the name of our podcast, is Experiences from Human Design. It's not, we're not there to teach or to study anyone, to teach anyone the knowledge, only to speak about how it perceives, the experiences of ourselves, of the people that come to our podcast. And so yeah.
So, human design came in your life, and you say you went very mental in it. And when did this change? When did you
Mm.
realize that?
Mm. I just remembered. Um, I had a neighbor coming to take something from me, um, and she overstayed her welcome. Like she was supposed to come and take something, and she stayed and started talking. And she talked and talked, and she started like asking me stuff. And I'm an open solar, so I can't I can't say to someone, I'm really tired, so can we talk and do it after or whatever. And I felt I didn't know at the time what I felt, but after she left, and it was like a half an hour or 45 minutes that was supposed to be 5 minutes, I felt something in my body. I felt like a pressure, like nerves. And the evening went it went bad with my children. I yelled at them, and I was mad, and I didn't know why I was mad. I had no reason to be mad. And I stopped everything. I went to my bed, my bedroom, and I sat on the bed, and I was like, what the hell is going on with your body right now? What the hell is going on right now? And I looked at my chart, and I needed to understand what I'm feeling. And I didn't know the person's chart, yeah, the neighbor's chart, but I I I felt that the first step was me not wanting to speak with her, and not wanting her to be in my house, and my emotional solar plexus was preventing, like, not avoiding the confrontation and avoiding the truth. And then it went to my root, and I felt the pressure of really the pressure of the open root. And it's something that goes, like, it vibrates in all your body. And that's the first time that I could explain to myself what I'm feeling, and why I acted like I acted, and why all the evening, and the supper, and the showers with my boys, and everything was like, we were all mad. I was all mad, and I could really understand how it started. And that's the point that I was like, okay, you need to pay more attention to your body, and to whatever is going on in your body when you're not yourself, when something goes wrong with your behavior, or with what you feel, and with your stories in your head. And because I was like, how rude is she, and doesn't she understand that I want her to go? And she started asking me for things, and she started, like, wanting to see this and to see that, and I was like, I was blaming her. And that was the point. And actually, I didn't know that was the point until you asked me right now. That was the point.
Yeah. So that's when you realized, it's about actually living it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's when I understand that you have to live it and not only read about it. It's like, you try to learn how to swim from books. You can't learn how to swim from books. You can't learn how to ride the bike from books. You can read all kinds of tips, and you can, know or think you know what to do, but until your body experiences it, you can read whatever you want. Until you do it, it doesn't go in your body. It doesn't go in your body, and it doesn't, you can't feel it, you can't do it. So
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you already have a family and children, and you told me something about during the pandemic, and
Mhm.
how it felt. Can you tell us something more, how things changed prior and after when you found out about human design?
Yeah, I told you that I feel like human design really saved my mental state, because I have three boys, and I'm married, and I live in my house, and during the pandemic, we were all here together in the same house. I know, without a way to step out, or to go wherever, whatever. No schools, no work, no nothing. And I felt I really felt I can go mental, because I couldn't stand being here. for so long, and I was really blaming myself. I was judging myself for being a bad mother and not being able to stand my family, to stand my boys, to be like a loving, caring mother, and taking care of everyone, because I'm a 27 and I don't know it because it's on my design part. So I was really, really on a guilt trip for not being able to play the role, to be what I was supposed to be. And I should state that my I'm defined in only 3 centers, and 6 of my open centers, 3 of them are completely open, so I don't have any gates on them. Now, my husband is 7 centers defined. My oldest is 5 centers defined. And my 2 younger boys are 9 centers defined. So without me, I have 30 centers defined in my own house. Besides that, my solar is completely open, and all of my boys and my husband is defined on the solar plexus. So I live here with four waves coming at me, and my throat is open, and all of my family's throat is defined, my husband and all of my boys. Also, my root is completely open, and my husband's root is completely open also, and all of our boys is defined in their root. So I when I understood it, when I started to understand it, it was like, Jesus, I should get a reward for not running away, and for staying, for being here for so long, and not going mental, and not going crazy. Because only when you understand the mechanics, and you can, it's like, before that, it's like, oh, stop crying, everyone is having their difficulties, and everyone is, it's hard for everyone, and you're not special, and you're not your difficulties aren't different for anyone else's. And during the pandemic, by the way, I have a good friend that was always posting how fun she's having. And she's also a 5-1, by the way. And she's triple split emotion defined. And she has 2 kids, and they're defined in the solar plexus. So they're defined house in the solar plexus. And she was always posting how fun she's having, and how she doesn't want the quarantine to stop, and how this is the best time of their lives, and they're having so much fun as a family. And she also has the 50-27, so she's like all this, she's like mother and caring, and all that stuff. And I was like, what the hell is wrong with you? Why can't you enjoy like other people? I'm a 5. I project to people, and she's a 5-1, so I project to her. And it really changed my whole perception about my family, about my role in my family, and about my need to be alone, to step away from everyone once in a while, to let my own energy be with itself, and not having all of those definitions going through me. So yeah, it was difficult times for me.
Yeah. And all of these that you're telling me, and of course, it was difficult for everybody, the isolation, but especially this is what people noticed is when they get together, the families, all those, let's say, uh, problems or frictions or whatever that were kind of not being addressed. And not because of us being busy with our lives, suddenly all our focus was on that. And you're exaggerating all of this, of course, but I see exactly what you're saying with your family. And yet, this is what you kind of brought on yourself with creating this family
Yeah.
and getting into a 5-person penta, where, by the way, is your penta functional?
Yeah, I'm a full penta with or without me. So me with my children is a full penta. My husband with my children is a full penta. But uh, they can be with themselves without me, and everything is functional. So
Uh-huh.
that's also a trip, quite a trip, because it's like, okay, so what's my role here? And what am I here to do? I don't have many gates in the penta. I have the 15 and the 7, but that's it. So but I'm a 50/27, you know. I have this energy of taking care of people. um and none of my children has it, and my oldest son has the 27 in his cross. So but he's a projector, and his sacral is undefined. So um it's like I have to take care of my family, and if I won't take care of them, who will? But that's, of course, a not self thought. um and yeah.
I'm just showing for people who don't know what penta is. Like, so when we have a group of more than 2 people, so when we have 3 people, um, we become like an energetically new frequency.
Mhm,
And what we look at in human design is whether this group has definition in those 6 channels.
mhm,
And if everything is full here, it's called a functional penta. And if you have even one gap, like just one missing gate, then it's dysfunctional penta. And that's the question I asked, just to clarify
mhm,
what penta is. But the interesting thing is that once in a penta, we are kind of ripped off from our self identity, or how should I call it? Not identity, but I'm not specialist in this area exactly, but the penta has its own direction, and we kind of become helplessly intertwined in that direction, and we lose ourselves in the penta.
mhm,
So
mhm.
I'm just giving this background for you to guys understand Michal's situation during the pandemic in this full penta. And when she says that there is functional penta without her, it can really feel awkward because they are a team by themselves, which is absolutely functional, works great. And then where is my role in it? So yeah, that can be tough. I can understand this dilemma. Yeah. And
that
mhm,
that's actually what you said about, you know, me having this family, and this is what I brought to life. And I really believe that we get our life lessons from our children, from our spouses, from whoever is in our lives, and especially our children. And that's why our children is what is there to reflect on us, what we're here to learn. And it's not by chance that I'm fairly open and I have such a defined family to deal with. And that's just what I'm here to understand. That's what I'm here to learn how to live with. So um yeah, like you get the life's jokes from human design. I think that's the most profound understanding you can have. It's like you understand the jokes and you understand it's nothing personal. There's nothing personal in it. It's just chemistry and mechanics.
Uh, yeah, but I want to elaborate a little bit on the choosing.
Mm.
Um, we are not choosing our
Yeah.
children or our path, or some people think that we choose our parents, and everything is pre-recorded and set, and it's mm, sorry to bring it to you guys, but um it's actually arrogant to think that you're in control. That's just the
Yeah.
mind wanting to control it, but that something happened in our life doesn't mean it necessarily had to be there. But I agree that we have a lot of lessons to learn, and we're gonna learn them one way or another.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, but it's really good for people to know that yes, you bring yourself into certain situations, and um, when human design comes in our lives, and we kind of grab back our um, life mission, so to say, living our the life which was meant for us, um, and living on the least resistance path, we have to deal with a lot of decisions we made prior, which were not authentically to ourselves. And um, this doesn't mean, oh, a bummer, but it doesn't mean that things cannot move to their correct and healthy frequency for us. So no matter what your situation is, a lot of us find ourselves in um, mm, situations and with people that we didn't choose and go for correctly, and mm, did things according to our conditioning. Um, but it's actually a blessing to finally find out why things are like that, what is going on. And yeah, you have uh, put yourself in the situation with the three kids, and a husband, you chose this path and stuff, but this doesn't mean that you can get a huge relief, as you yourself mentioned, once you realize, that's what's going on, really.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, my husband was a completely generator response. We've met 21 years ago when my a mutual friend asked me if I wanted to meet someone, and I was like, okay, and that's it. That was it.
But I want to add something, because you mentioned that you're actually 351s.
Yeah.
You, your husband, and one of your children, and we know that the 5-1 is the most karmic profile, and we do have to meet our allies
Mhm.
in order to achieve our life purpose, and maybe end some unfinished businesses from previous lives, thus meeting allies and enemies
Hmm.
alike, so that we can finalize some stories and put an end to that, and finish the kind of the incarnation cycle, so you're open freely for the next, or depends what happens, but it might be as well that you have some karmic connections with these people that you have to work on, or that they're
Yeah.
your allies. For sure, we're connected to the place we're born. We know that. And we have something to do with the place itself. And of course, people in the same place most probably come from the same rogue crystals. So close crystals, family crystals. So it might as well have something to do with that. And it's so amazing. Uh, Now that we started talking about the five ones, they say we have the a kind of the gift to recognize people from past lives. Did you notice something like that? And how do you experience the five line theme in your life in general?
In general, I think it was when I first started studying about my profile. um, I saw only the burden of the five. I saw only the bad things. Um, I saw the paranoia and the projection of others. I was a really, really different person. And actually I've really changed in the last 2 years. And it's like speaking to people, like having lectures and speaking to people is something that if you would have told me a few years ago that I'll have a lecture that people will come to hear me speak, it's like, no, you're crazy. That's not something that can happen, because um I was really like a low self-esteem child with really insecurities and not many friends. And I had like a boycott when I was in preschool or middle school. I don't remember the name in English, but when I was like in the fifth grade or sixth grade or seventh grade or whatever, and I didn't have many friends, and whoever was my friend, um, I was really like it's not abused physically, but they weren't nice to me. And it left scars. It really did. And when I started to understand and to learn the fifth line, um, I can see where I'm good at practical solutions, because I always go straight to the practical solutions. I go straight to solving problems, um, because I'm open in my solar plexus, so I'm like I don't deal with the emotional stuff. It's like, okay, 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 I got it. I got it. Okay, okay, you're sad. I understand. Let's go. Let's fix the problem. Let's fix the problem. Let's go there first. So I'm very practical. I'm good at going to I'm good at bringing things to earth and understanding them in a really um simple language. And so I saw mostly I saw the bad things. I couldn't see the gifts. I couldn't see the gift of the projection field, because the projection field is it can be a burden. It can be a burden. And I'm like the only 5-1 in my own personal family, with my brother and my parents. And my husband is also the only 5-1 in his family and his parents. And I could see the, oh, you can do it, or oh, it's like with my friends. I can be with my friends, and we're a group. We're like a small group. I have two really, really good friends. And we had like a fourth friend, and we didn't get along. Okay. So we our connection like broke, and we stopped being her friend. It wasn't like a fighting thing. It just happened. So few years after, um I meet someone that knows her, and then she tells me like, yeah, she's so mad at you because you stopped talking to her. And I was like, but we were three. It was all of us. It wasn't just me. And me, I'm the one to blame for. I'm always the one to blame for. It's like you have a group of people and they're all doing exact. Actually, I'm trying not to give attention to be on the spotlight, and I try to go back on the shadows, and not, no one's gonna watch me and no one's gonna look at me. But it's always like no, it's Michal. She's the one that, or talk to her. She can do it, or she can solve it, or she can whatever. And it's like, no, I don't want to. I don't want to. But now, when I did have those lectures, and it wasn't too long ago, I suddenly I understood I like talking to people. I love it. And I get all those compliments saying like, you're a natural speaker. Like you speak you speak so loud, because my throat is open, so I speak loud naturally. I don't need any microphones. And it's like, oh, you are natural and you're so good at it, and how, oh, you really have to have more lectures. And I love it. And I love it. I love the energy of the strangers and the people not knowing me. And that's that's something I really like right now, that I, after I understand. And I was always comfortable with strangers. My mother actually told me a story that when I was 3 years old, I could enter the elevator in the building, and by the end that we get to the floor, I'd tell the people on the elevator everything I had to do this day. They knew all of my life. I was 3 or 4 years old, and I would start talking to people like without any problems, just starting to speak with them, with strangers. That I it was so comfortable for me to do it.
So, um, you kind of experienced the demonizing part, like we all did, you know. First, they look at you like the saint, and then you become the demon.
Yeah.
Mm, this is so funny. I can so much relate to that. And when people say sometimes, especially when I ask other five ones, did you get burned on the stake? And when they say, I mean, not so much. And I'm like, yeah, well, you're a heretic, man. I mean, if you're not getting burned, you're not doing something. Mm, because we're not here to be liked by everybody. And it's not only by the 5-1, it's about everybody, of course. Um, we're not here to be nice. So we're here to be us and to be authentic. And sometimes it means that we can be not nice. And it's still okay.
Hmm.
And when you're correct, um, you still can get burned on the stake
Yeah,
because you're correct.
because we're heretic. We're heretic. How do you say
Hmm.
it?
Yeah, sometimes you go and you tell somebody the truth, and the truth hurts, and then they hate you for it because you brought it to them.
Mm-hmm.
And now the question comes, were you asked or did you initiate, you know? It's a huge difference. But I had experiences when people asked me and they didn't get what they expected. And then they burned me. So angry. And I was correct. And I got the negative projection. So it's not something you can control. And that's the magic, maybe. It's just natural to get first the positive projection, and then it is what it is. So
How
did
do
you
you
get burned on the
experience?
stake?
Oh, many, many times. Many times. I had friends that just disappeared from my life, from, and I didn't even know why. And again, I'm saying that I was a really sensitive and low self-esteem child, and I I didn't even know what I did. Uh, Actually, the last time it happened, it was not so many years ago, I guess like 9 years ago. It was a really, really good friend that just stopped talking to me. And I didn't know why. And I chased them. I chased her and I was like, oh, actually, no. I had one like a year and a half ago also. I just remembered. Um, I have a good friend. She was also a 5-1, by the way. And she was a really, really, really close friend. And we used to spend so much time together. And then I was at a low place with my son. We had some kind of difficulties with my son a year ago, and I shared it with her, and she she said some stuff that that hurt me. That it just I was in a sensitive place. I wasn't mad at her, but I just needed a break. I needed space. I was mad at the situation, and I couldn't hear the stuff she told me. And also she's a 5-1, you know, she just told me the truth that she saw, you know. But I just took a break. I took like a month break and I didn't speak to her. And when the time went by and we met each other, and I was like, do you want to talk? Do you want to like do you want, because we're grown-ups, you know, and we can pass this and go back to being friends, you know. We're 40 years old. It's not high school anymore. um and she didn't want to. And she's like, I know I hurt you, but you hurt me because you didn't talk to me for so long, and I didn't know what I did, and all that. And I was like, okay, I understand that, but maybe we can talk about it. And and then I actually also chased her, and I was like, come on, it's stupid. Let's get past this. And on the third time that I tried to talk to her, I heard from my friend, my actually my podcast partner, Yael. She told me like, you're not in high school. Why are you chasing her? She doesn't want to be your friend. Then okay. And I was like, right. I don't have to do this anymore. I can just let go. And I just let go. That's what I did. And she actually she's the one that hurt me, and it ended up that I hurt her, and she doesn't want to talk to me. And that what that's like a classic 5, a classic 5.
Yeah. Well, she's also a 5, so
Yeah.
she's also demonizing you, and yeah.
Yeah.
It's the thing about the fifth line is people have so much expectations towards us, but the truth is we have also a lot of expectations too. It
Mm-hmm.
goes both ways.
Mm-hmm.
And when I realized that, it was a game changer for me because mm, I wasn't telling people what I was expecting from them.
Mm-hmm.
Like like one of the first kind of things that they told me about the fifth line is make sure you know what people expect from you. Ask them,
Mm.
like, is this because they put those projections on you, but you're not clear what they're projecting on you. So ask. That's the best
Mm-hmm.
thing is communicate, ask, so that you see what are really the expectations. And but nobody told me that I'm doing the same. And um it really changes everything when you actually tell people, like, I am expecting this to happen. Is this gonna happen or not? Is it correct for you or not? And it really changed because you mentioned earlier about the guilt trip you were in during the pandemic and with your motherhood. But I think that 5-1s are being mm, um, blame gamed a lot, but I think we do the same. And yeah, in my case, I'm also very white split. So, I'm looking outside of it
Mm-hmm.
for the problem, and the whole world has a problem. It's not me. But yet, um, being a fifth line is also you're kind of, how shall I put it nicely, but you're here to be the grown up. We
Yeah.
are here to be grown ups. Leave these childish things and learnings and gathering their new karma to the right angle profiles. We are here for something else. We
Hmm.
are inspired by how we're gonna impact the other. And it is our trip to be the mature ones and to step out of that and go beyond the guilt trip and not guilt trip others. So I find this, I really enjoy talking to other 5-1s, I must say. I am definitely, um, they can make me mad, but I really enjoy it
Mm.
also because we share so much. And in terms of humanity and this whole story and movie we're in as 5-1s, but I think it's very important for us to realize that we have also huge expectations and we also project on others ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's really a trip, a movie.
Yeah, I actually now I adore the 5-1. I love being a 5-1. There are so many positive sides of being a 5-1, and it's like you see the potential, you see the greater the larger picture, and no one, I can't say no one, but you have to carry it until the other will see it also. So um when you see someone's potential, it's so hard to and again, I'm the cross of prevention, so it's my not self wants to always take people's pain away from them. So in combination with the 5 line, um it's really really important for me to be in my own authority and strategy, so I'll get in the correct situation that will be the right ones for me. But because other way, I'm always taking people their pain and taking responsibility for what they're doing, and no, you don't understand, you have to be like this, not like this, you can do it, you can be it, you can whatever. And so being a 5 is I really like the profile. I really like this profile, the 5-1 profile. I think it's I'm not objective, but I think it's the best one.
Well, the best one is the best for each person, so it's the
Yeah,
best one
of
for
course.
you, apparently. Yeah. Um, but indeed, it's can be a burden and it can be a gift, and we're in a duality, so it will be both things. Human design is not here to bring us ultimate happiness, guys. It's
Mm,
to kind of help us align with what is the most correct path, and
mhm,
so that we don't live the shadow, but are able to get in our full power and really live the life which is correct for us. And that may include difficulties, it may include a lot of pain, it may include a lot of things. And we're here to expand our consciousness,
mhm.
apparently, by duality. So, mm, yeah.
Can I also ask you a question about the 5?
Huh?
Um, how do you experience it in your own family, in your own like not personal family, husband, child, but the wider family, the like
Extended family, yeah.
extended family. How do you feel there? Like in dinner, the family dinners and stuff like that.
I feel exactly as a 5-1. Everybody's projecting on me and expecting things from me
Mm-hmm.
to come up with solutions. And it, of course, it also depends on my personal design. I have the 13th gate, so uh, family history is interesting for me. I love listening to old stories,
Mm-hmm.
and my grandparents love me for that because the others are not interested in their stories, and I'm like, ooh, listening to them, and then yeah, I become the most loved grandchild. I remember my grandma, she died several years ago at 94, but I was the only girl from her grandchildren, and everybody was explaining her despicable love to me because of that. I know now it was just a projection, it's so yeah, my family expects the best from me, expects that I'm going to be the saint and the savior. And when I don't deliver, they demonize me.
Mm-hmm.
Immediately they demonize me, and um cannot and as you say, I do have a family member who, for instance, suddenly just doesn't want to have to do anything with me, and this, and nobody can turn their, I don't do anything about it, but people around, they're like, why trying to turn their how they treat me, and they're absolutely immovable. It's just like I'm this demon, and that will not change. So yeah. And what about yourself?
Um, so it depends on which part of the extended family, because we have my husband's family. We see them quite often. We see them every like Friday or every other week. So we're there a lot. And there I feel I'm invincible. I'm invisible there. So it's like I can sit in a family dinner and have no one speak to me and no one address me. And I also have like only one four line. So I'm not good at social small gatherings. It's not my natural state. And also for a five, it's not a natural state to be in small gathering with people that know them. It's not something we feel natural in. So in my husband's family, it took me forever to understand that I'm not I it's not that I don't belong. It's just it's just that I don't have to I don't have to feel belong. I don't have to feel that um I fit in. And really it's like understanding I need to sit and be quiet with my open throat, and just if someone addresses me, I'll speak. But other way, they don't ask what I do. They don't ask how I am. They don't ask anything. And I think that's because we don't see them a lot. And we do see them a lot. We see them every week. But on the other hand, I have I told you before that 3 months ago my grandpa was he passed away, and he was very old. He was 99 years old. And um in the after the passing, that we have the shiva. It means like 7 days that the sons and the daughters of whoever passed away, we sit in the house, and people come to visit and pay their respects. So there I saw my very extended family, like the uncles of my mother was there. And I was doing my thing because I'm a 50, 27, and I was like really paying attention to the how do you say it? Um you have like stuff that passes from each generation, like uh
Traditions.
how what
Traditions or yeah.
yeah, tradition. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
thank you. Yeah. Like the family traditions of taking care of the people that sit in this shiva, the sons and the daughters. That's my family and my mother and my uncles. And so I was a pure generator there. I really I don't remember the time I was such a pure generator. I was there every day, all day, with my mother, taking care of her. That's what I cared about. And I was like responding. I was like getting up, doing the dishes, taking care of asking people if they want coffee, or if they want to eat something, and keeping the place tidy, and giving them food. And I was really doing my job, my 27 job. That was my job. At the end of the 7 days, my my mother's uncle step came to me, and he was like saying like this, like a secret. He's saying, just so you know, you're the best granddaughter here, and all of them, they don't know anything. And I can see how you deal with everything, how you do stuff. All they do is talk, and you go and you do. And I was like, gosh damn it, that's a 5 projection. And because they were also doing stuff, yeah, that I wasn't the only one. But he was like, you're my favorite one. And since then, 3 months from then, every time he sees or speaks to my mother, he's like, how's your daughter? How's your wonderful daughter? I love her so much. And I was like, hell, yeah. That's the 5 projection. You're the best. You're the one. You're the savior. You're the with the one we put on the pedestal, and you'll take care of all of us. And that, to see this, to witness it, to see how it works. That's magic. That's magic. The And they don't know me, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can absolutely relate to that. Indeed. That's exactly why they put you on the pedestal, because they don't know you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But actually, we as generators, I mean, and anybody, mm, we don't really know ourselves deeply. Like, there will come a situation that a certain trait will come up out of us, and we didn't even know we could do that.
Yeah.
So that's amazing. Mm.
Yeah.
And how about with your children? How did this change when you started understanding their designs?
Oh wow. Oh wow. That's the most amazing tool that human design gave me, because um actually we're a really projected house, because as I said, I'm a 5-1, my husband a 5-1, and my oldest is a 5-1, but two of my other two boys is a 2-4. So we're all projected on or projecting some kind of something. So it's a really mirror house. We live in a mirror
The
house.
house of
Uh,
magic.
yeah, it's a house filled with mirrors. And I'm the only one that my husband isn't very interested in human design. So the first understanding, deep understanding, is I'm a sacral single definition generator. I'm a really, really fast responding, doing whatever. I live in a house filled with splits and emotional splits. So I have a split, I have a triple split, I have a quadruple split, I have all the splits here in my house. So the first understanding I had, the deep understanding I have to be patient. I can't go around running and like decide. No, I have to be patient. I have to give them time. And when I was a child, it's like my second name was impatient, because I didn't have any patience for anything. That I need things to happen now or yesterday, and the faster the better. And also judged myself for this, like, you're so irrational, and you act so fast, and you don't think before you act, and all that stuff. So to understand that I really need to learn what patience is, and that's such an important lesson for a generator. It doesn't matter if it's a single definition sacral generator or an emotional quadruple generator. It doesn't matter. The thing you have to learn is patience and trusting things to happen in their own pace. And that's the really main lesson I learned from my children, is really give them time. I have to give them time. If I won't give them time, I'm just I'm just making them incorrect with themselves. And my son, my youngest son, is a quadruple split, and it's so funny. He can speak to me about things that happened like 2, 3, a month ago, one month and a half ago, and he'll speak about them like they happened yesterday. And I'm like, what? What are you talking about? And I'm like, oh, okay. And then you see the time it takes to process everything. And I'm like, oh, that's so cute. But I have to address it, because for him, it really did happen right now. For him, like, the understanding took place right now. So I have to give them a place and express how they feel, because they're emotional and they have all this drama, and the understanding of also that I'm the only female. in my family. You know, I have my husband and my 3 boys. I'm the only female, and I'm completely open solar, so I'm not the drama queen here. And that's a really profound understanding. I'm not the drama queen. They're the drama queens. I live in a house filled with boys, with my husband and my boys. Every one of them is a drama queen. And I'm like, okay, I can feel, I can understand how you feel. And I go like a mechanic, because when I do that, I'm really mechanic. I'm not emotional. I can understand how you feel. I can understand that happened. That's so sad. Okay. Can we pass can we pass it? Can we can we get moving, you know? That was an amazing understanding about my family, really. And also my projector child. I have my oldest is a projector, and we are full of generators. And actually, I made sure he sleeps alone. He has his own room. He sleeps alone, and my two youngest, who are 9 defined centers, so they don't really affect each other that much, you know. So they in one room, and he's in a different room, and understanding that always he doesn't know when enough is enough. I need to teach him to take more space and to really get inside in his own energy, because he's the one that like teasing them and fighting them, and like when he's there, the whole house is stop doing it, stop teasing them, stop fighting them, stop harassing them. Don't you know when enough is enough? And I'm like in my head, no, he doesn't know. Enough is enough. He doesn't know it.
Yeah, so brings a relief to know those things, where they're coming from and how to deal with them. And
Yeah.
how is your husband taking your infatuation with human design?
Mm, that's a more complicated answer. My husband is not really into personal development, let's say, and he's a really down to earth guy, going to his job, his steady job for the past 15 years, and like needing his paycheck to be steady, and to understand, to live his frustrated life, I guess, because he's a MG. um but the thing with my husband is that he does really really support me. It took him a long time, but he's like, don't talk to me about the knowledge, but you can talk to me about your successes or what the good things you do. Like I told him about this interview. I was like, yeah, I'm going to go on a podcast in Bulgaria, and speak in English. And he's like, oh, good luck with that. And but he doesn't hear it, he doesn't listen to it. Also my podcast, he never listened to it, but I learned to appreciate it, because actually it's because of him that I uh, learned how to speak human design without speaking human design. It's like I can speak the language without speaking the language, without speaking the definitions and the words and the all of that. And he has only the head and the root centers open, so he's a very very under pressure guy. Pressure is really messing with him. So I can tell him, um I can understand it's hard for you to feel all that pressure. I can understand that the pressure makes you do things that you don't want to do and you don't want to feel. And I can really really um talk to him in a language that he does understand about his design. And actually, it's a funny thing about my husband and I, because I have all of his channels are I have all his channels in a compromission with me. So I have the gates and he has the channels. So if I have one
You're
gate,
in compromise with him.
yeah, I'm on compromise with him. So I have 5 compromised channels with him. I don't bridge any split. He has 7 ways to bridge his splits. I don't bridge any one of them. And I'm in compromise with him, and he has a throat defined, an emotional solar plexus defined. So I really, really need to pick the times I speak, and I really need to give him time to process his emotional wave. But I don't tell him it's an emotional wave. I say, like, okay, we don't have to talk about this right now. Give yourself time. We can talk about it whenever you want to. And that's a gift. That's a really gift, because I didn't act like this before. I was like, let's talk, let's talk, let's talk, let's talk, let's talk right now, let's talk right now. And I was initiating the conversation always with my open throat. So it's like, why don't you speak? Why don't you speak? Why don't you speak? And it was, we got into really serious arguments because of that, because I didn't know how to act with my own design. And now it's like, I know he needs his own time, and I know he needs his own special space, and to to open up emotionally and to speak, and he does that. And that's amazing, because us open solar, when someone speaks in his from his emotions, and he's happy, or he's happy, he has joy, it's amazing for us. It's amazing for us to feel it. Um, so that's nice, actually.
The topic you bring is, I find it very important. Mm, people in our lives don't need to know human design, or we
Mm-hmm.
don't even need to know their design. Of course,
Mm-hmm.
it's helpful and gives us a lot of understanding, but as long as you're correct with yourself, everything falls into place. And this is so important to know. We don't need actually others to understand, because as long as we accept ourselves, somehow it's a byproduct to accept the others as they are.
Mm-hmm.
We want to be taken as we are and not to be judged.
Mm-hmm.
So when we reach that place of accepting ourselves, and as you said, oh, now I love the 5-1 profile, this is actually accepting yourself and accepting the good and the bad coming with it and falling in love with it. So when this starts to happen, it's only a byproduct that you start accepting the others as they are
Mm-hmm.
and loving them for who they are. And it's one of the greatest gifts that human design gave me is um, to be at peace with those things that I don't understand or that I cannot put in my picture or in my world and that I cannot change.
Mm-hmm.
It's truly a blessing. So thank you for telling us how you dealt and you deal with that in your family. It's
Yeah, I
precious.
feel it's like I didn't have any other choice. It's like that's the only choice I had. Uh, and we're generators. We're here to understand ourselves. We're not here to understand anything else but ourselves. That's the who am I? Um, and when we deal with ourselves, when we, just as you said, when we're correct with ourselves and Also, I have the 1034 to thank for that, because I always want to investigate myself. I always want to understand myself deeper and deeper and deeper, and to be correct with my behavior and my the way I act. So every one of us has difficulties in his design. Everyone has like enigmas in his design. And the thing is that it wasn't if it we're here to make it happen. We're here to play with all of our parts, even the objective parts, the ones that work, the one that doesn't work. We're here to make it happen, because if it wasn't supposed to be, it won't be. It wouldn't have been like this. So whoever has like difficulties in his map, everyone has it. Everyone has like parts that collide, that crash each other, and feel like they don't supposed to be with each other. But that's the fun of it, right? That's what makes it fun, to understand how to make it work, how to live with it peacefully and with satisfaction, of course.
Here I hear the practical side of the fifth law. How to make
I
it work,
hope.
at the end. Yeah. So, with your family, uh, are they looking for you, for or also friends, of course, and are they looking for you to give them solutions?
um I think that with my family it's more complicated. I don't When they need help with something, yeah, they address to me to fix whatever. But with my friends, it's like, since I entered human design, they make fun of me that I don't see the people, I see the maps. That I look at them and, oh, okay, look, you have an open head, okay, so you can stop thinking about that. And I of course I'm joking. Yeah, it's not that it doesn't work exactly like this, but um yeah, I guess I'm always the practical one. I'm always the one with the solutions. And what you said before about um, asking for the expectations, I I I learned how to do that. I don't do it quite as much as I would like to, but um, I'm working on asking, okay, what do you need from me right now? What do you need to just spill out your emotions and your story, and have me hear you and say, like, feel for you and stuff like that? Or do you want me to go practical? Do you want me to start fixing this and like arranging it so you'll understand it? And I'm a 17, 18 in my cross. I'm a very logical person, so I can go logical very, very fast. So do you want me to do that? Do you want me to solve your problem right now, or help you solve your problem? Or do you want to just spill out and say what you feel? um and that's something I learned to do, because I understand that when I go practical too soon, people are mad at me. They're mad at me because they're like burning me on the stake, yeah, because you don't understand me, you don't listen to me, you um um stop fixing my problems, and that's only because I don't ask before, what do you need from me? What do you need me to do? um so yeah, that's a really, really important tool for the 5-1s, to learn how to ask before, what do you need from me right now? So
To figure out the exact expectation and whether you
yeah,
can fulfill it or not. Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
So you have a completely conscious 3410
Mm,
and the 25th gate, so almost the entire centering circuit. That's a minor circuit.
yeah.
Um, So how do you experience that? Like the vortex of putting people in your because in your centering or in your projects, kind of pulling everybody in your direction. Also, actually, let me share. You have the your personality sign in the 15th gate,
Mm-hmm.
extremes,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, putting people in your extremes. And how do you experience that? How does it work?
Oh, I'm a very extreme person. I'm a very, very extreme person. It's like um I'm here to deal with the extreme, and that's actually also quite a lesson I've got from human design. And I also used a little bit of the gene keys to understand it deeper, because it's like I have no middle. That's how I felt all of my life. It's like, why do you have to go to the extremes? That's something I've heard a lot in my life. It's like I have to go to the lowest or to the highest in order to understand the middle. And that's something I always, always felt. Until I don't go to the lower of the lowest of the points in my life, I can go up. And then I go up all the way. I sense the it's it it's actually it's really challenging, but it's also something I really, really love about. I actually adore my design. It's that's the 1034 speaking right now, yeah. And you asked about the 1034, and I think one of the best realizations I had about myself, and again, speaking from uh, not a very confident child, not a very confident person, even when I grew up. I wasn't a confident person, and realizing that when I deal with myself, when I'm really exploring myself, I'm an inspiration to others. That's that was not a very natural thing to understand. And when I read about the 1034, I was like, yeah. I really I'm not an egoist. I'm not an egoistic person, but I do talk about myself a lot. And it's like, yeah, every time it's like, it's about me, me. and and uh, understanding that it's okay. You don't have to feel ashamed or judged as I judged myself in my entire adulthood, because my mother doesn't like people that draw attention. And that's something I've learned since I was a child. Whenever someone draws attention in the surroundings, my mother is like, oh, she always talks about herself and she always speaks about herself, and that's wrong. But there she had a child that is there to be self-obsessed and and draw attention. I'm not a silent person. You can feel my energy when I'm in my at my best, and I draw a lot of attention, and I don't take it. It just comes to me, and understanding that it's okay, and that's what that's part of who I am. Um, it felt it was really, really a profound lesson to live it, to like be to be who I am and not feel bad about it. It sometimes happens, actually. It sometimes does happen. But I was speaking about my partner Yael from the podcast, and we're like business partners and we have projects together. And she doesn't need attention. Just, such as I need attention and draw the attention. She is a projector, so she likes being backstage. She likes like going out sometimes, stepping back, um And someone actually wrote us and told us, your relationship, your partnership is unbalanced. It's not, it doesn't have any balance. You need to hear more from her than from you. And I was so offended. I was so offended. Wow, it triggered all of my childhood memories of of taking myself out to to not draw attention and have people like, don't look at me, don't see me, I don't want to draw the attention, because if I draw the attention it's not good, and they won't like me and they leave me and I'll be alone, because I'm a one, I'm you know, the alone part is quite there. So that's what I learned in my entire life, that when I draw attention, it's not good. And I step on someone's toes. I step on someone's toes when I'm myself. And then Yael, actually, she was like, yeah, our partnership is not balanced. And that's okay. Because that's how we make it work. That's what's good for us. And that was a really, really that was a really nice to understand that it can work like that. That I that working in a partnership is not, not everyone wants to be at front, on the front of the attention, of being like the first, the one everyone sees and hears. And it's nice.
And she
I
has a
like talking
defined
about
throat
myself.
or undefined?
She has a defined throat.
Uh-huh, okay.
Yeah. She has a defined throat. Actually, we had our last episode on the podcast. We talked about my undefined throat versus her defined throat, and it's one of my deepest wounds. My open throat. That's one of my really deepest wounds, like not knowing when to shut up.
Yeah, yeah. Um, Indeed, this 3410 and this empowerment for when you see somebody doing their own thing. In our conversation, I could see it, for instance, when you were talking about how you deal with your husband who's not so interested in human design. That's exactly such a moment. Like, if she can do it, then I can also do it. It's
By
empowering.
the way, he also has the 1034.
Yeah.
In red, in the design part. He has the 1034 and the 57, like all of this in the red, in the, you know, the design part, the unaware.
Mhm.
His design in the unaware is my centers. And his aware side is something I don't have, is like a manifestor on the aware side. And that that's exactly it.
Yeah.
So that's
You
funny also.
have partnership channel, which is very nice. You kind of appreciate each other, not messing with your own things and empowering each other this way. You know, he does his thing, you do your thing, and
When
that's
it
empowering.
works, when it works, yeah. But I was blamed for being very self-obsessed for many years. I
By him
was
also?
blamed by him, yeah. I was blamed for you know, you only see yourself, and all of this personal development things. It makes you change. It made you change. You're not who you are. You're not yourself anymore. Like, you're not the person I've married and all that. Um, and that's that, but that changed. Actually, that changed. Like, it took a long time. It was hard, it was difficult, it was very difficult, but it was a very large, huge test in our relationship. um because he was like, how why are you always like thinking about yourself and doing yours? But he also has it, you know. He's 1034. He doesn't know he has it. That's that's a 5-1 classic, you know, 5-1, throwing at a 5-1, throwing back at a 5-1. That's classic.
Yeah. But it's amazing. It's amazing how design plays out in our lives. Yeah, okay. So we're kind of getting to the end of this conversation.
Yeah.
And I thank you so much for your time that you shared with us and your story. your empowering story, taking care of humanity to have their own empowering stories. Is there anything you would like to say or to ask or to share or to care about? I don't know.
Um, no, it doesn't, you can't ask for a generator to a general question. I get confused in my head.
Do
Um,
you want to say something then?
no.
No? Okay. No last
No.
words? Laughters.
No, it's just that I had so much fun. I love like talking about human design, and I love speaking with people about human design, and it makes things so simple. It makes everything so simple. So I just really appreciate the opportunity for being here and speaking with you, and I have so much fun speaking with you, because we talked also like an hour before we started recording, and I think we could go on like even another hour. So I really had so much fun.
Okay, shall we do that again then?
Oh yeah, please.
Okay, great. Well, guys, with so much laughter and chit chat, we leave you to enjoy your own lives and get empowered. Bye for now.